What's up, guys? It's Lucy here today, giving you a deck profile. I'm the cameraman now. This is what he looks like. I knew you guys missed his face. He's giving us Blue Eyes today. Are you excited to give this to us?
Yes, I am. I've been waiting a long time for this side. Burn Bro can tell you.
Yeah, bro. I know. Every day he's like, I'm waiting on that side, waiting on that side. They've been putting a lot of thought into this deck profile.
Yep. So can I start? Is it good?
Yeah,
Okay.
bro. Let's get right into it.
So for the namesake of the deck, you got to play the 3 Blue Eyes,
Blue Eyes.
the OG artwork, the original artwork. All this other modern shit is shit. So you got to play that original artwork though, because it's attractive.
It works better.
It does. It's like the ultimate pot of duality. It only works when it's that rarity and that type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So 3 alternatives as well.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. They're like $20 a piece right now, but like you gotta play 3 because it's the easiest fucker to get out in the deck, hands down. Like it's just reveal, summon, pop, good, and then synchro if you can. Like you don't, it doesn't hinder. So next it gets weird. No, I'm just kidding. It gets normal. Dragon Spirit of White. It's your free back row removal for pendulums. It not really fucks them over, but it has the potential to because it can banish a back row instead of sending it to the graveyard. So it's actually completely different.
Against Dracos too, right?
Yeah, for that diagram and that back row in general. Although it's kind of hit and miss with them pendulums, you get a bit. But yes, it's banish is good. The second effect is you get to tag out if your opponent controls a monster, so you can attack if they have a monster tag out, swing with Blue Eyes, the original. Because all of these have this trait is always treated as a Blue Eyes card, hand deck or grave. This is treated as the Blue Eyes White Dragon in graveyard or in field, and then the other one is Blue Eyes White Dragon.
All right.
So. You could bump this up to 3 if you wanted to. I would not advise it.
Contact fuse too.
Yeah, you could contact. Actually, no, not with this one because the contact says specifically the Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this is treated as a Blue Eyes card. It is not treated as a Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's a sad loophole. But you could play anywhere from 1 to 3. I mean,
Is it the same rule for that one too, or is it?
This one you could contact fuse with.
Oh, that's one I was pointing to.
Yeah. Sorry, yes, you can contact fuse with that one and the original. This one you cannot. So it just depends. Now onto your.
And also they can play through skill drain too, right?
Yes, easily, as you'll find out later on, because it's a lot of the stuff is either once per turn or it's activates in grave. So I'm like, it doesn't hurt the deck that much.
Activates on field and then effect resolves in grave because it's attributing for cost.
Exactly. So eggs, you got to play that 3 White Stone of Ancients. It is probably the second most versatile card in the deck because you can send it to the graveyard, it stacks, and then you can special summon as many Blue Eyes as there are stones in your graveyard in the end phase. So you could get out like a Blue Eyes, 2 Dragon Spirit of Whites, 2 Blue Eyes, 1 Dragon Spirit of White. It just depends on what you want to do. Then you can banish and add a Blue Eyes card from deck to hand or from graveyard to hand. So it's
good card.
It's a good card. Then the 1 White Stone of Legend, because you got to play one. A buddy of ours, Philosophy, you'll see him later, actually plays Blue Eyes as well, and he says he has this at 2 because you can plus off of it when you use cards like Melody. And so
show that one again.
Yeah, Melody.
I'm pretty zoomed in on this, so okay.
Yeah, when you show Melody, you can get a 3rd search because this when it hits grave, you get to add a Blue Eyes from deck to hand.
Good.
So next, this is probably the most versatile card in the deck. Sage, because it can search anything that's a level 1 light tuner, which is your eggs, your master with the eyes of blue.
And you want to see, you're gonna have to put it right here.
Yeah. So so you can't search itself, but you can, and then you can pitch. The ideal play with Sage is you normal summon Sage, right? Then you get the effect to search for a level 1 light tuner, which is typically an effect veiler. And it could be an egg, it could be a master or 2. And then you use this Sage effect to discard as cost, and then pop the Sage, and then summon a Blue Eyes.
That's good.
So 1 master for recursion, you can revive from grave. It's kind of, and you can add a white tuner, a level 1 tuner from graveyard to hand. So you can revive, you get an effect failure back, you can get a Sage back, you can get a stone back. It just depends. So this is where it gets really weird. 3 effect failure.
3 of them.
Number 1, I want to see it in my opening hand. Number 2, it is not a once per turn. You can go Veiler. It's easily searchable off of Sage, and it's an easy side outcome like game 2 because I'm like, if you get a feel, and then I've been in situations a lot. One of the Dark Magician players at our locals plays a lot of wind winches. So I've been in situations where like I wanted a second Veiler and I didn't have it. People will tell you, hey, play 2 or play 1. You can play 2. It's fine. 1 is dumb because you can search it and you're not always going to see your Sage. So that's just retarded. Don't do that. It's a horrible idea. Then
Controversial. I like it.
yes, and then this is my tech. When Red Eyes, Darkness Metal. It's a free revive from hand or grave, and you can banish one of your stones so it doesn't hurt. And it's 25,800 beat stick. I think Burn Bros actually seen me get this off a few times, and it doesn't. It's just 2 extra dragons on board. You banish one, you summon that, and then you can Monster Reborn this. You can Soul Charge it, and then you can get it to grave with things like Dragon Shrine or Foolish Burial. It's pretty interesting. People have been like, I don't know if I'd play that, and I'm like, well, it's a tech, and it does what I need it to. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, triple trade-in, standard, just standard.
You run it.
Yeah, you run it. It's your draw engine. You could play Cards of Consonance as well, but it's too situational. There's not enough Dragon Tuners in the deck for it to always to be live, where this is more often than not going to be live. You have ways to search it. Searching Blue Eyes with like Melody of Awakening Dragon, you pitch ideally a stone, and then you get to summon, or it's not summon, search an alternative and a Blue Eyes, reveal the special, that kind of thing. It's pretty self-explanatory. 2 Dragon Shrine, people can play anywhere from 1 to 2. I play 2. It is a hard OPT clause though, which is once per turn, for those that don't know that. And you are guaranteed 1 dragon in grave. That's the thing. If it's a normal, you can send another one. But you get to send 1 no matter what. So you can send like a normal Blue Eyes and then a Dragon Spirit of White, and because that does count as a Blue Eyes normal engrave. I don't know if you guys knew that. So that's why Silver Sky works. 1 Foolish Burial.
Gotta get that higher rarity.
Yes, this deck is almost completely hollowed out.
Make sure it works right.
Yes. So Foolish Burial, because Foolish Burial. Second, now we get into the revival cards. Return of the Dragon Lords. It's protection.
Ooh, good spicy tech right there.
Yeah, it's real good.
What dragon deck would ever run that?
None of them. They're all crap. No, I'm kidding. That is something I would like to actually throw a disclaimer out there. For any one of you looking to build Blue Eyes, doesn't matter who you are, how good what your take on the deck is, doesn't matter. You're gonna break sometimes. Blue Eyes is just an inherently bricky deck. It's fun. It gets big beat sticks out there. It does what it does. But you're gonna brick. It's not a fluid deck. It's either you go off, you can kind of go off, or you don't go off. There's not a lot of in between, except for the fact that there was a lot of in between. But yeah. So protection, free stuff. This is a reactive trap, even though it's a spell card. You treat it like a reactive trap.
Quick play.
It's a quick play. So you can do the typical play I see is I'll have a Dragon Spirit of White engrave, and then I'll pass and set this. Or set this, then pass, and then when they go to do anything in their back row, I can revive it during their turn, banish, and then I can tag out again because the tag out is also a quick effect for normal Blue Eyes. And the revivals ending are Monster Reborn and Soul Charge. Or
Recursion.
The Recursion, bro. This deck can revive a lot. You just have to get the right cards to your hand, but you can go off. Burn Bro and me actually dueled one time. And he, I think he was playing True Dracos at the time.
Yeah, striked it.
Yeah,
Judgment, and then he just kept bringing it back.
Yeah, and then finally he's like, you know what, you can have it. You can just have it. And I got the diagram off, but it didn't stop anything. I still lost. But, I mean, like, I got what I wanted off, and it came back the 4th time, and he's just like, okay, all right, you can have it. So it does revive like crazy. This is also something you would typically side, but there's 2 reasons I main this. Number 1, it's back row removal. You don't really have any back row removal except for Dragon Spirit of White typically, and you don't run traps normally. And this is another way to discard stones and whatnot. So it's just like it's another way to get shit in grave, and it's another way to just remove back row. So Raigeki, I have a Dark Hole. I don't side it. I don't main it. It's just, I mean, you could. You could, but I have a Raigeki. Book of Moon, it's a quick play. A lot of stuff stops when it's not face up on the field.
Yeah.
So, and even when Burn Bro here plays True Draco, I noticed that he typically makes it immune to traps and monster effects.
So most people do,
yeah, so I could still book it, and it would work. And then another card you could maybe run is Shrink to half that damage, but I'm like, it's whatever. And then lastly, the Skill Drain. This may seem a bit excessive with the 3 Veilers, but again, easy side out, and then I don't have to worry about the Veilers because I can use them as tuners. because they are tuners. I can search them, do stuff like that. So another card you could maybe play. Well, I'll go at the end when more cards you can play. But that's it. It is a 41 card deck. It's not overly bricky, but again, because I minimized it just with lots of practice. But I would recommend. If you want a fluid deck, go True Draco. Go anything that's not Dragon's just inherently brick, but they're good. I love them, but they're just bricky. So extra deck, you gotta play that.
Chamber doesn't brick.
Chamber just wins and trolls, and it's fine because that's what it does. That's what it's known for. It wins when you play it. So the Twin Burst, it's the contact fuse. You only ever want to play the one unless you play like Dragon's Mirror, in which case you play like a 5-headed or a Blue Eyes Ultimate or something like that. But blue, yeah, you gotta play it. It's just good. It's banish, can't destroy by battle, stuff like that. Gets 4 dragons grave. Next, you want your 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragons. Tag out, negate stuff in grave, and you can go into different targets with it. Yep. Your typical tag out target that I never go into, so it's not typical, is the Azure Eyes. It is a standby phase. You can revive a normal monster, and then all your stuff is immune to destruction by card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn after summon. So I think it's even if it leads the field, but I don't know that. So then tag out targets. You got your Ancient Fairy, which blows up field spells, which is pretty great. And I think that even includes True Draco stuff, so I could gain life points off of that. This tags out, you bounce, and then you can, if you have level 4 or lower in hand, you can use his effect to summon it, or you can just normal it with this case. But either way, it leads you to Crystal Wing. One time I got a Crystal Wing out with Skill Drain on the field, but it was my opponent's Skill Drain because it was tag out. It was tag duel. Didn't go so well. I was very upset, but I was totally worth it. And he blamed me because he's like, you didn't attack, and I was like, yeah, but it was a negated Crystal Wing. What do you want from me? And he's like, I wanted you to attack. I'm like, shh. So Stardust Spark, you can target any monster you control during either player's turn, and it becomes invincible to card effects in battle. It doesn't have to be itself. You can target itself, but it doesn't have to be. Cloud Castle for that True King play. That's about it. That's what it does. The Galaxy package, so Galaxy Eyes Cypher, take control, pop, and I think that pops, but the main thing is it banishes 4 cards from your opponent's deck by choice, and then you get to send dragons. So it's pretty good. It's 4k beater. So is that one. That's fine. Generic, Hope Harbinger, because...
Negates.
Yeah.
Everybody plays spells.
Yeah. And this deck doesn't normally run a skill drain or any kind of traps at all, so... the Sky Prison shuts down graveyard plays. So just be smart about when you activate this, because this can fuck you over too. Skill Drain doesn't really fuck you over, but this one can. And True King for that Calamities and the Cloud Castle and stuff. So, negate you.
It's full extra deck?
Full extra deck, bro. 15 cards. Alright, so now let's go to side.
Ooh, onto the side deck.
So it's mostly done, except for the fact that Burn Bro lent me 2D barriers for the purposes of this video.
Yeah.
So, but everything else is mine. So, 2 Denko, because I don't want to point fingers, but someone I know plays Chamber.
Man, I hate those guys.
I mean...
Or other back row heavy decks.
Yeah, just in general. I'm just
wouldn't know any of those people.
And again, the only...
Definitely shouldn't look on our channel and look for other videos on some back row heavy decks.
No.
Do not look for those.
No, and if you do comment and subscribe, God forbid you search us. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Please do not click that bell button.
No, don't do it.
You do not want to see us in your notifications. That is something you do not want to see.
We'll make your day so much better that it'll loop back around to being worse. No, I'm kidding. So, do Tangos, because there are back row heavy decks. This doesn't just shut down Chamber. This can shut down Nurseburn. It can shut down... what's the other one? Paleozoics. So it's just like... And you don't... A lot of the stuff you activate from hand. You don't have to usually set it. Makes the exception of like Skill Drain, Soulless Cry, and maybe a few others. Book of Moon. That's it, though. You wouldn't set any. And those can all be. Hand Traps. There's a lot of them. Ghost Ogre, because Ghost Ogre.
Yeah.
Ash Blossom. You could play 3. I main 2. I side 2, rather. So...
You main 2 in the side.
I main 2 in the side, exactly. Thank you.
It's good.
Back row hate is still a problem, so 2 Royal Decree. Seems a bit excessive, but...
I don't know why you're running against these.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who you play fairly often that runs back row decks.
I don't know either. Again, don't press that bell button, bro.
No,
don't do it.
Not.
So...
You also see my ugly mug.
So because Darkest Diablo is going to be a thing. I think Cosmos are a thing. I don't know if Infernoids are Earth,
They're
right?
fire.
They're fire? Okay.
And then you have Pendulum Magicians.
Yeah.
And then everyone at our locals, or at least a lot of them, are
Play
Dark
that.
Magicians.
Yeah.
So,
This shuts all that down.
Yeah.
They're all dark. None of them have their effects. So this doesn't hurt Dark Magicians as much because Dark Magician doesn't have an effect and it's a vanilla monster. Same with the Blue Eyes. But, I mean, it is what it is. Because True Dracos are a thing. And they will be for a while because that ban list didn't hit crap. I don't even think we got a new ban list. I think everyone was just
Not yet.
hype. Not yet, but we will.
even then, it still won't.
Yeah, it's gonna be playable. It's not
They're
gonna.
Reaper Diagram later this year. They're not going to ban Masterpiece. So.
No, I know. So it's fine. So Mask of Restrict though, it's a tier 2 deck. This is not tier 2. This is way below tier 2. So but like it you can take out stuff like Skill Drain. You can take out stuff like a Veiler. It just depends on what you take out. And then the MVP, 2 D barriers. It was actually a funny story. A guy named Philosophy on our channel one time was playing Cosmos against me, and he flipped D barrier, and he's like, call Synchro, and Burn Bro was like, you're not hindering him at all. He had no intention of ever going in the extra deck. So you need it though, because it helps, and it does. Does what it needs to. So that's the S side deck. Now for some choice cards that you could play in place of, if you're not broke or you're a budget or something like that, because again, I main mostly budget cards. 2 Evenly Matched. It's a dumb card. Don't ever play this card. I never got it off. I paid like $50 beyond, no, $50+ even for these two. Yeah, for Evenly Matched. And so I never got it off. It never worked. So don't play this card. It sucks. It's not worth the money. I hate it. I don't know why, but I know exactly why I bought it, but I don't want to talk about it. So, Dragon Revival Rhapsody is also a common one in combination with Keying a D. This one is, no, it's not that good, and then this one is too situational. You have to have a spellcaster, and you have to have at least one monster engraved. It's too situational, but you could. I mean, it's not. Again, too situational because you have to be going first, and you have to have a way to get it engraved and then on field. Morphage Goliath because it locks both people out of the extra deck. So I mean, you could do that. And then a weird one some people play is Dragon's Mirror because it's fusion based.
Yeah.
So you can just contact Fuse from grave and it doesn't matter, field or grave. But yes, so that is the deck. It is you're gonna break no matter what, but that's okay because Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not meant to win it with skill. You're meant to win it with the heart of the cards. So sorry guys, I lost my seriousness there. Anyway, this is Lucifer, that was Blue Eyes, and this is Burn Bro, and we are
Out of here.
Out of here.
Peace, guys.
I'm the dark messiah. I'm the man